Welcome back to the Stoop football fans. It's your boy Lolo. It is week 2 of the Premier League season. Week 2 is already over of the Premier League season, but Mark and I got something special cooked up for you all this season. We found a way. How can we talk about as many Premier League matches as possible? How can we not just focus on one club or the other, or the top 6 or the bottom 3?
Without boring the public.
Without boring the public. So this is the way that we found to do it. And what we're going to be doing from here on out, every week, we're going to be bringing you our team of the week. When I tasked you with this and I sat down to do it myself, it was a lot harder than expected because, first of all, we have to watch every single match or as many as possible. And second of all, it's forcing us to look at positions that we don't necessarily, it's not all the stats padding. It's not all these. And I know for one that I have at least one guy on my list that if you looked at it stat wise and if you looked at like player ratings wise, he's not the top one on that team. He's not the top one in that match, but he's on there. We'll get to him in a little bit.
I looked at this as these are individuals that deserve their praises, that they've earned like some sort of, hey, this guy did well, where it might not be fashionable. We might not read about it in whatever, news source. We know that Holland is going to get talked about. But there's other players that deserve, not this week at all, but there's other players that definitely deserve their time in the sun.
Absolutely. Well, let's get to it, man. Let's start from the back, and we'll start with our keepers. I'm going to go first, Mark, because I'm going to throw you a little curveball. And as much as I hate this guy, and you may hear this a lot tonight, as much as I do not like this person, he did kind of show off some great elements of his game, and that's Ederson for Manchester City. Listen, he didn't have to make a crazy amount of saves. But his distribution is something that just, he could have had 2 assists. His just pinpoint accuracy, things that you don't realize keepers like that. Why is he always at the top of the list? Yeah, he's got a bunch of clean sheets, but he's got Stones and Diaz in front of him. He's got Rodri in front of it. Like, clean sheets don't matter as much for a Manchester City keeper. But his distribution was just something phenomenal. So, and a clean sheet against Newcastle, who just put up 5 the week before. I got to give it to him. Go.
I am going with someone that I had no idea who he was, where he came from. He is replacing a fantastic goalie in Hugo Lloris. I'm talking about Vicario for the Spurs.
Guglielmo.
Look, man, a clean sheet, fine, but he stopped like 6 or 7 shots on goal. And again, big shoes to fill. Who knows where he came from? I think he came from like some B or C team out in Italy. I was kind of worried for Spurs making that shift, and I think this guy is he's gonna make some noise for Spurs this season.
Yeah, man.
And those noises are gonna be thump, thump, thump as the ball hits against his gloves.
I gotta say, when I saw him in goal, when I saw his name in goal, I was right there with you. I don't know who this is. Spurs are about to get demolished. So glad I have Rashford in my fantasy team. And no, you're absolutely right. He made some clutch saves. And Mark, you know what? I'm gonna give this one to you. I know I may need you to give me one later, so I'm gonna give you this one and let you put a Tottenham player in the list here. So put him up there, put him on the board. We got our keeper down. All right, Mark, kick it off. Who's one of your defenders?
I'm going to start in the center back position, and this is based on one single play, and it was so clean. It looked like a penalty in the box. It looked like it could have been a red card. I'm talking Willem Saliba and that beautiful block that he just wrapped his leg around like Plastic Man. And so I'm fitting William Saliba into that center back position.
Well, I highly appreciate you noticing that, and yes, I was like, "There's no way that's not a penalty," and then it was a great call by the referees not to call it, but even if it
Fantastic
had
call.
gone to VAR, you saw him, he caught up to him, he made the mistake, was a few yards behind him, caught up to him,
Yeah.
and the decision to go down and spear that ball and knowing that he has that ability, Jesus,
It
um,
was absolutely picture perfect if
Rolls
you weren't
Royce.
watching it in full speed.
Yeah, I'm in
Yeah.
agreement. I have Saliba back there. I just like to note another reason. It's not just for that one tackle, but once we did go down to 10 men, had Partey not made a bunch of mistakes throughout the game, I thought once we were down to 10 men, Partey, Gabriel, and Saliba
Oh, no,
owned.
no, no.
They owned
You
that.
guys locked it down, you
Yeah.
know?
Okay, so we're in agreement on that one. Put them on the board. So I'm gonna go now with mine. It was a debut. It was a debut, and when this guy signed for Manchester City, I think I tweeted, "Just stop already. Just stop already." So what so they bench Ake, who's had, like, an incredible turn of a career with them, but they get Josko Gvardiol. Nickname is Pep, by the way, because everyone calls him Pep
Because he
Guardiola.
plays with a lot of
Uh,
pep.
no, because he called Pep Guardiola. So he's there playing with Man City. He gets the start in it wasn't like "Oh, we're playing Luton Town, go ahead and get a start." You go up against Newcastle, go up
Yeah.
against Isak, Joe Linton,
Mhm.
Almiron, everybody, and the dude just looked so calm. So calm, and
Yeah.
this is another
Yeah.
one where if you look in the stats and everything, he's not gonna have the highest ranking that day, he's not crazy amount of stats, uh, but everything he did was the recoveries, he had a couple recoveries, and just he looked like he's been playing for Man City forever. Like he had that calmness that annoys you out of like the Diaz and the Rodri that just annoys the hell out of you when they just calmly go and steal the ball. So Vardiol is on there for me.
Yeah. So I this is yet another one that we can at least
Yeah,
agree upon here.
I chose wisely. I'm trying to keep it
For
civil to
me, I
start.
think it is the case of how seamlessly he was able to fit in as his full time start against a team that is as dynamic as Newcastle. We all know that Pep likes to bring people in and sits on them for a year or two. Case in point, Grealish, Calvin Phillips. Did we
Absolutely.
expect that of Guardiola? I kind of didn't
Yeah.
expect him to be brought out so fast because you mentioned Ake. Ake's like he's one of my favorite players on that team, but Jacob had came in and he obviously impressed Pep, which is very hard to do. Fitting into a system, calmly fitting into that system, and so therefore I'm putting him in as my center back.
Yeah, man. It's your turn, Mark.
All right, I'm gonna go to the left back position here, and this was decided on in the last match of the week, Crystal Palace and Arsenal. This guy, you don't really limit Bukayo Saka, but he basically neutralized Saka as much as one can. And I'm going with Tariq Mitchell. Tariq Mitchell kept
Wow.
stride for stride with Saka the entire game. Saka, look, he's always gonna be some sort of threat, but that threat was really minimized here.
I'm gonna go with Mr. Purvis. Purvis Estupinian. Purvis Estupinian, and I feel like we're gonna have a few Brighton players on here. But listen, when your left back when he gets you a goal and an assist, nearly a clean sheet, not a clean sheet, um, you know, you got to take note of that. You gotta take note of that. He's a big part of the attack. He does his job defensively, and I feel like he's gonna be another $100 million, 100 million pound man that Brighton's gonna cash in on in a year, uh,
If
two
that is
maybe.
the case, what good business does Brighton do? I mean, they're just raking in. They're
They're
finding all these
raking in the
players
dough.
in the corners of football, and they are just making a shit ton of money from them. I like that pick for you. I don't necessarily like it as much as I like Tariq Mitchell, but we can
Okay.
agree to disagree here.
Well, let's see who our next two are, and then we'll decide on those final two slots between the four of them. So, my next guy
Fantastic.
is the guy that I alluded to earlier, which may not have a ton of impressive stats in this match, but the guy that I am looking at is Pau Torres. Pau Torres goes in for the injured Tyrone Mings for Aston Villa. And this is another one where he would not be starting this match. I'm sorry, if Tyrone Mings was healthy, he would not be starting this match. But he came in off the bench at the last match and did all right. Not great, but they were up against Newcastle. But listen, he helped shepherd in a 4-0 victory. And how easy is it to give up a goal when you're up 4 goals? When you're playing so easily, when the game is coming that easily and you guys are scoring goals left and right and center, how easy is it to just sort of let that slip? Now, he was playing against
Mm,
Everton. Maybe it's a little bit easier to not let them
that is
score.
not a good team.
Um, but for me, like if you watch it back and you watch commentators talking about his performance, it was just it showed so much leadership where Aston Villa is not going to take that Tyrone Mings injury as hardly. It's not going to be as detrimental as maybe it looked like because they went out and
Hmm.
had a really good signing of a really talented Spanish fullback. So Pau
Right.
Torres for me.
For me, this guy played not only some great defense. He had a really great partnership with his crosses up front, and the fact that probably a couple of years ago nobody rated this guy or thought he was just a fucking bum. But I'm going with you know me, I'm gonna butcher this name a little bit, but I believe it's pronounced Aurier, Serge Aurier for Forest. He put on a show. Now I know it was against Sheffield United, but he had some brilliant, absolute brilliant pinpoint passes into the box. Was playing great defense, so tracking up and down. He's gonna get my call for right back.
All right, all right. Well, listen. So now we only have room for two of these guys. We've got Serge Aurier. We've got Mitchell. I was like Tyreek Hill. It's a different
Tyreek
football.
Mickle.
Tyreek Mitchell, Pau Torres, and Purvis Stupinian. So here's what I'm gonna do. If let's take the two guys who didn't score and just played badass defense because Aurier scored, didn't he? Or he assisted at
No,
least.
but he did have 2 assists.
He had 2 assists. So
Yeah.
let's take Pau Torres and Tyreek Mitchell. Um, I gotta say Mitchell did do a decent job. However, it was not it was not Ben White and Saka running up and down the wings. You know, it was Thomas Partey going in, not really having a wing, not really having a wing back or a right back behind him. So our attack looked, as much as we did try that side, and he did do a very good job. He got burnt a few times. I'm just saying. I think Pau Torres had a stronger performance. Tyreek Mitchell relied a lot on the team as well in the low block and mid block that they played in for much of it, and then we switched
Okay.
all defending. So that's my
Right.
he
Well,
had a
fair
good
enough,
game.
but
I'm
I'm
not
just
putting him
gonna
on
keep
this 11.
I'm gonna let you I'm gonna let you I'm gonna remind you that Pau Torres played Everton and Tariq Mitchell played Arsenal.
Yes, but like I said, it's his first full match. He took charge.
Fair
He
enough.
brought
I'll give
4
it to you.
goals.
I'll give it to you.
Easy to give one away. I'll give you Aurier if you give me Pau Torres. I'll put Purvis on the bench.
Done.
All right, so we've got what's his name again? Guglielmi Vicario,
Vicario.
between the
Our back
6
line is Saliba, Guardiol, Pau Torres,
and
and
Aurier.
Serge Aurier.
That's
Is
a
that what
that's a
we
pretty
decided on?
badass, yeah, because you
That's
have
pretty
Pau
good.
Torres and Saliba back there, and
Yeah,
then on the wings, Guardiol
yeah.
and
And I think
Aurier, yeah.
I'll go. Brand new toy. Um, I never really saw him moving to this club, but James Ward-Prowse for West Ham
Good start.
has
I have him too.
continued the trend of new players, new signees really shining. And I just wanted to put James Ward-Prowse in a blue Walmart apron with a name tag that said, JWP, how may I assist you? Because he fucking brought it.
I was just waiting for them to get a free
Absolutely
kick.
brought it.
I was just waiting for them
I
to get a free
know.
kick. I wanted to see
I
it, like,
know.
how else could he endear himself to West Ham? But listen, he had another one where, yes, he got an assist. It was on a corner
Yeah,
kick, beautiful.
two
Oh,
assists.
he got the second assist. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But once again, leadership in the center of the park. You're playing Chelsea, you're being attacked like crazy, and then you go down a man with not an insignificant chunk of time left, and one of your defenders that gets
Yeah.
knocked out. So you
Yeah.
switch to a more defensive thing, but I don't think he broke a sweat. He just looked calm. He controlled everything. So James Ward-Prowse, you
Yeah.
made it because we're in agreement there. All
Yeah.
right,
I'm not gonna say that he's gonna replace Declan Rice, but it's gonna take the sting off just a little bit.
it's a great signing. It's a fantastic signing. It's a fantastic signing. So we're in agreement with James Ward-Prowse. So this is a new round in the midfielder, but this guy's way in the back there. But like I say, when you get a goal and an assist in a match where there's only 2 goals, like you got to make it on the list. You may not agree with me, Mark, but Lisandro Martinez, he had an assist on Tottenham's first goal. He straight up scored the second goal. When a defender can do that, and he should be given a clean sheet for that. Uh, I know his team lost, but I mean, come on, give it to the little guy.
Lisandro Martinez?
Yeah.
He scored?
Oh yeah,
No.
the second goal he kicked it in.
Oh,
Let me.
okay. So,
He assisted the first
so,
one.
so you're rubbing salt in the wound here. That's what you're doing. I see you.
He assisted the first goal. He passed it to the guy,
You
and then
did.
he scored. You see him kick it. It's like, what are you doing? What are you
Yeah.
doing? And
Yeah.
Onana
He
was even
was.
like, "What
He.
are you doing?" Like Onana was
Yeah.
right there to
Yeah.
get it, and he just gives it a little touch, and it goes past him. And Onana's like, Who do I play for? I thought you were on my
Who's
team."
playing for me?
But listen, like I said, goal and assist, you're getting called up to
You,
so you may
you,
not agree with me on this one.
exactly.
Who do you have?
I'm going with a guy, another new signing. I'm going with Kovacic for City. I believe that he is filling some massively big shoes, and much like Guardiola, he's just fitting in seamlessly. He comes in for an injured Kevin De Bruyne, and he's thriving in that position. He's not going to do Kevin De Bruyne things, but he's going to do Kovacic things,
Well,
and
I
and
don't
he
know
is
if
he's
he's
looking.
I don't think he's slotting straight into KDB's role there.
I
Um,
well, this we're gonna chalk that up to a little bit of inexperience on my part, but I'm
no, no,
still
no.
gonna put him
It
in
it
as a
it
midfield, as
yeah, yeah. No, no, Mark,
as someone that's
it's less about you not knowing certain things. It's just that Kevin De Bruyne does so much, like, to
No,
they
absolutely.
actually split his role into 2, which was Phil Foden and Kovacic.
That's how
And
good
yes,
Kevin De Bruyne
Kovacic,
is. He's two
yeah,
people.
yeah. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, so speaking of that, I'm gonna go with the other City
You're gonna go
player
the
that I
other
just
half?
mentioned. I'm gonna go the other half, Phil Foden. And I hate Phil Foden. Just let's not get this. And
No, fair enough.
it's mostly due to the fact that he's constantly put above Saka as the greatest British youth, English
Greatest
youth
youth.
player.
Sure.
He's so good. He's so good. He's so good. Listen, he is. He is a fantastic football player, but he's he doesn't start all the time. And so anytime he gets out there, he's trying to impress, he's trying to show off, and he does a little bit too much. And so we see his misses more than his hits. But I thought this match, he was probably told by Pep, I don't need you to score. I don't need you to score today. We have fucking
Yeah.
Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
We have Julian Alvarez. Not to mention everyone else on the team can
Everyone
score.
else on that team from
You
any
just make it
position.
happen. And you know what? He looked scary. That's the first time I
Yeah.
went, Phil Foden, I applaud you. You didn't get a goal. I think he got the assist
He
um
did get
for
an
the
assist,
one
and if
goal.
he didn't, he had like a really beautiful lead up pass
Yeah, he
to the goal that was
those
the
key
assist.
passes. Those key
Yeah,
passes,
just
yeah.
super key passes. I mean, I agree with you here because I saw Phil Foden from 2 seasons ago where he was the man and he
Yeah.
was that best young guy in the Premier League. I don't think he had that great of a season last year, so hopefully we get on the rebound with that. But yeah, Phil Foden was fantastic for City.
Yeah. So let me ask you right now, are you taking Foden or Kovacic on our
I'll
starting
take.
11 here?
You know what? I wasn't completely sold on Kovacic because, as we mentioned earlier, to do 11 top players was really tough. And I'd acquiesce and give you Foden for sure, for
All right,
sure.
so we have Foden and James Ward-Prowse in the midfield. It's your go now. You have to knock Lissandro Martinez off of there. He's the only one that's still up for grabs. So
I'm gonna do this one because I put this guy in my list just because he was such a shit stirrer,
oh
such an
no, don't.
instigator. He frustrated the fuck out of Chelsea, and I'm going with Paquetá. I'm going
Fucking
with
bastard.
Paquetá. He scores, and he's flopping around, and he is just pissing Chelsea off, and he is doing it to knock them off their game. He
And
was
it worked.
just
It worked.
it
It
worked, and
worked.
that's why I'm putting Paquetá in my top 11.
Listen,
He scores. He did the little things. He's hard tackles. His tackles weren't quite always perfect, but they weren't always quite offensive. There was a couple of shoving matches that he got Chelsea into, and I think he even drew Chelsea into a yellow card in
yep,
one of those
yep.
confrontations. And so he was a Granit Xhaka. He was your Scott McTominay.
Oh,
I love that kind of football sometimes, and especially against your team, Najee. So
Jesus. Um,
I'm putting as a larf, I'm putting Paquetá in here.
Listen, he had a decent game. He scored. He played the whole 90. My problem is, listen, dude, you've just come under investigation for yellow cards and betting on yellow cards, and then you go and get a cynical yellow card that you didn't need to get. It's just making us all go, did you bet on him getting a yellow card? Because I sure did.
Right, right.
Um,
Yeah, he kind of fucked his career because he could have
Jesus.
gone to City.
Oh
He could
my
have been
God.
sitting at City.
Now, I'm gonna go. Like I said, we'd be back to Brighton before you knew it. Got to go with Solly March, man. 2 goals. He had like a 9 something rating. He was all over the pitch,
Yeah.
and those things, yes, attacking, being a part of the attack, but I was looking into it. He had 4 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 3 clearances. Yeah, that
Mhm.
boy good. That boy good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm in
Brighton's
100%
gonna be
agreement
fine.
with you here.
Fantastic
Yeah,
performance,
no,
and
Solly
looking
March,
forward to more.
great movement. Certainly,
Yeah.
definitely, absolutely, without a doubt, with all the accolades, belongs on this list. I'm going with his wing counterpart on the other side of the pitch, Matoma. Matoma.
That boy good
I
too.
don't know if you saw it, but when Matoma just cut up the field against Wolves and just charged by him, and Wolves are trying to grab at him and pull him down. I say break his legs if you're just going to go for that, go for that sort of grabbing. And he just scores just this beautiful. I believe it was off his left foot. I don't really know on that, but not only did he have that really great goal, but he had 2 assists on the day. Um, Man, another Brighton player that I have loved for so long. I got to go with Matoma.
He's fantastic, and you know what? That goal that you're talking about, that was the Estupinian assist, and that's one where
Yeah,
I was okay taking
but
Estupinian off the
Stupinan
list
is
because
he's so far
because
back.
Mitoma did,
Matoma
like,
gets the ball at the half line, and just laces it up.
after 38 touches, you shouldn't get the assist anymore, like, he was like he's a dribbling magician, first of all, he's a
he's got
dribbling,
he's
uh,
got great feet.
philosopher. He wrote a
Yeah,
paper on it, so, like, very good, very good. I did not put him on there, I thought I had shown enough love to Brighton. I gotta give Villa some respect again, and I'm gonna go with Leon Bailey. He had a golden assist. This dude, I've been watching him play for Jamaica for a few years now, and always looking for him to explode because he's just so quick, so quick. But he's had issues finishing. He's had issues staying healthy. He's had issues once again, similar to Foden, like trying too hard when he finally got playing time. And I felt like this game, he was told like, don't worry about it. I'm not subbing you off. Like, go play, go be free
hmm
and terrorize Everton. And he did. He was on the left. He came to the middle. He was on this other side. He was popping up where I was like, oh, who is that? Jacob Ramsey or somebody? And it's like, no, that's freaking Leon Bailey again. He's just that fast. So, Mark, that leaves us with 2 decisions to make, right? We still have two slots left in the midfield. We have Lissandro Martinez, we have Paquetá, we have Matoma, and we have Leon Bailey. I guess
I
we'll go ahead and let Lissandro go. He's not making it on the list.
I'm gonna stick to my guns with Matoma. I think he was just like such a difference maker, and he easily had to been. Although Solly March could have gotten it, but I think Matoma easily was man of the match in that one. So I got to stick to my guns here and say Matoma stays.
So you'll give me Leon Bailey over Paquetá?
Why not? Paquetá was a larf.
All right, one left. One left, Mark. We've got the striker position. I think it's my turn to go.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to go with the dude from The Wire. Um, but he looks just like him. Visa, from
Oh,
Brentford.
sure. Yeah, 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 yeah.
He's another one that's always, and I don't even know if he's particularly a striker or not, but he's a forward, very much of an attacker, maybe a winger. But listen, 2 goals in 2 matches. They're without Ivan Toney. They're he's just to me he's proven his quality. He's always there and he's tough to beat when he is running straight at you. So I got him up there. If you watched his performance, you understand why he's up there. And
Oh man,
that and that
I've
and
always loved that boy.
that
I've
and
always loved
there
that
aren't
boy.
a shit ton of strikers this week, right? Not a
Well,
bunch of
I
strikers to
I
choose from.
I got one. I got one that I think deserves some props.
My guy
And
scored in each game already this season, Mark. What do you got?
my guy has not only scored in each game this season, but he scored in the last 4 games of last season for a team that you're not watching. I
Oh,
watched
I
this
can't wait for
guy.
you to tell me his name, Mark. I can't wait for you to.
I was singing his praises last year. He is a big body. He's tall. He's wide. He's fast. He's everything you want in a striker, and he plays for Forest. No one's
Yep,
watching
I can't
Forest. He
wait for
plays
you
for
to say his
Forest.
name.
Taiwo Awoniyi.
That's
It's as close as I can
closer
get.
than you've gotten for some other names. Jesus.
Exactly. Before the match, I put a little wager on a hat trick. He scored in the first 6 minutes, served by Serge Aurier, right at his little twinkle toes, and he puts it away. 10 minutes later, if it wasn't for a beautiful block by, I have no idea for Sheffield United, but that could have been two in the first 20 minutes. And then he had one chalked off for a slight offsides in the second half. He nearly had a hat trick. I put a little bit of money on him for that. I'm not disappointed to lose that, but Taiwo Awoniyi is my striker of the week.
Well, Mark, listen. All right, I'm gonna give this one to you. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna pull Visa. I'm gonna pull Wisa. I'm gonna give you this one because he scored last week against Arsenal, and
As a
after
sub.
after that match, I was just like, "Good God! Imagine if he had started. We may not have walked out of there with any points. Like,
Yeah.
he is
Yeah.
hard to beat. He's everything that you just said, and I believe he was with Liverpool for a minute when he was younger.
Yeah,
Imagine
I
if
think so.
a
And
team like Chelsea
just
had him
couldn't
right
unlock
now.
them.
So that's our team. We have it here. We have in goal, not Ederson. We have Vicario, and then our back
Vicario,
line of Guardiol, Saliba,
Saliba.
Pau Torres, and Serge Aurier. Then we have James Ward-Prowse, Phil Foden.
We went with Matoma, Solly March,
Matoma, Solly March,
and
and Leon Bailey.
Leon Bailey.
And up front, we have Taiwo Inwanyi.
Wanye.
That's as close as we're getting. So
That's it.
there it
That's
is.
how well we do.
That is your team of the week. That is your on the stoop starting 11 of the week. So don't forget to join us next week when we give our when we select our team of the week for the week that's coming ahead, week 3. I can't wait to see everything that happens next week, and I somehow have a feeling Holland's going to have to make it on the list, as annoying as that is.
And if anybody out there wants to, you can put it in the comments. Tell us we're wrong. Tell us we're right. Who's in your top 11?
Absolutely. All right. So from Brooklyn, that's Mark. I'm Lolo. We'll see y'all next week. Don't forget to check us out on Happy Hour as well. Every Friday night, we'll be doing Happy Hour. Peace, y'all.